The topic of this talk is how does capsaicin work in kimchi fermentation and maintain human health. Most people studied how kimchi is very healthy, but I am talking about why, which phytochemicals work for making kimchi. So I have 5 parts, so like this. So phytochemical in kimchi. So kimchi, the most important thing is capsaicin. So first part, and in Korean food, how plants is important. So before that, I'd like to briefly introduce the structure of Korean food. So in the other country, compared to other country, Korean food is quite different. So main difference is with what. In the other food, what do we eat? But in Korean food, with what to eat, mainly rice. So like this. So I make the diagram for this. So like this. So the structure of Korean table is, the first one is rice, and second one is the food, and there are 2 banchan, is maybe dishes, and so we have to introduce to understand Korean food, namu and kimchi and jang. So the wide variety of banchan, mostly using plants, kimchi and namu are always on the table. Jang, maybe soybean sauce, also is used to sauce or seasoning plants or vegetables, and banchan too, maybe occasionally delicious dishes, mainly with fish or meat to supplement the protein. And why the plants in Korean food is important, originally or geographically, is the characteristic. Calorie source is from the rice, usually the cereal, just like the barley, millet, and sorghum, but Western wheat is for bread. Korean people look for the plants to make banchan or namu using vegetables. So what is the namu and what is the kimchi? Most Western people knows the kimchi very well, but they don't know the namu. So I can summarize the difference. Like namu was made like or branched vegetables, and kimchi is fermented vegetables with yangnyeom and jang. So we can say that in Korean food, jang means sauce. So yangnyeom made from usually chili. So soybean is necessary for making jang, and spices such as the chili, garlic, ginger, green onion are necessary for making yangnyeom. It's different. So I'd like to introduce the plants who make this kind of rice and jang, and this is the kimchi. So from rice we can make the rice, and from soy we can make the jang, just by fermentation, and this kind of the vegetables with the spice we can make yangnyeom, and we can make yangnyeom this spice with the jang, and these vegetables, so we can freshly one is namu, and sometimes we make the fermented one. Not fermented one is the we say gochuri, and we make kimchi by fermentation. So all of the Korean food is from the plants. The basic source I told you, jang and yangnyeom. So Korea is country of origin of soybean, and has a lot of vegetables and grasses. Korean has own seasoning or spice material as chili. In Korean we say gochu, and garlic, green onion, and ginger. So jang is made from soybean, and yangnam is made from gochu, garlic, green onion. So there are many phytochemicals in these plants. So what is the kimchi in Korean food? So we make the kimchi from soybean and spices and cabbage, just like the vegetables. So from soybean we can make jang by fermentation, and spices. So we make the yangnam, and make the yangnam we can make the kimchi. So the kimjang is making kimchi, and not fermented one we say gochari. So gochari go to the kimchi for the fermentation. So what is the fermentation in kimchi? There are many. This is raw material of cabbage, and they have the harmful bacteria and very low content of lactic bacteria. So if we make soaking, this harmful bacteria is destroyed like this, and with the chili powder and useful bacteria is grows. So after fermentation, the kimchi is like this. A lot of lactic bacteria and minimal content of harmful bacteria. So the taste is good and function is also good. So because this kind of phytochemical and metabolites. So why kimchi is only for Korea? Very unique for Korean food. They don't know the microorganism, they don't know the technique, they don't know the science, but they can find the kimchi. So many people say kimchi fermentation is blessing to the woman who makes desperate and intentional effort. Just like the kids, no need. So prototype of kimchi with soy gochari, so seasoning vegetables will be with yangnam such as chili powder and kimchi with seasoned cabbage later from the gochari. So they don't know the fermentation, but the taste is delicious, and they can eat the rice with this kind of vegetables. So the kimchi finding is we call serendipity finding to eat later. And how to make kimchi preparation? So we call the kimjang. Kimjang is unintelligible. The UNESCO unintelligible culture. So I would like to briefly make kimchi from veg cabbage, and soaking the 4-piece cabbage should be salted about 10% brine for about 10 hours, and during soaking we make the yangnam with these spices, and after soaking, washing and desalting, and drain the water for 3 hours and mixing up. Just we make the kimchi, kimjang, and fermentation and ripening around 5 Celsius degree under the earth in the early winter. So we make the kimchi preparation usually in the beginning of the winter. So I would like to introduce the phytochemicals. Which phytochemicals are there in kimchi? So there are 2 kinds of phytochemicals. One is the original phytochemicals from yangnam and natural compound. Another one is the phytochemical we call metabolite during the kimchi fermentation. So, what kind of phytochemicals in the kimchi is there? So before that, we can think about which kind of the vegetables to make kimchi. So we are using cabbage. So this is veg cabbage and garlic and scallion, green onion and chili and chard is from the soybean. So there are many peptides and amino acids in the charm, and ginseng, sometimes ginseng. Usually we use the ginger. So now I would like to talk about what kind of phytochemicals originally in kimchi. So there are, as you know, the professor knows this kind of beneficial effect of this kind of phytochemicals. So capsaicin is from the chili, and anthocyanin is from the chili, and vitamin C is from the chili, and ginger is from the ginger, and the pechu, the flavonoid, and glucasinol, lactacin, and garlic acid, and saponin, just like the ginsenoside and allicin is there. This kind of phytochemicals is there. And we are talking about the metabolite from the kimchi. So what's the main creature of kimchi fermentation? The answer is lactase bacteria. And main work of kimchi fermentation is the lactase bacteria. And main lactase bacteria is the creature of kimchi. And what is the main product of kimchi fermentation is lactase and metabolome. And what's the main workers of human health function are also called phytochemical and LAB and metabolites. So and the other health compound in kimchi is like this. And I would like to focus on capsaicin, so which is the critical role in making kimchi. So as you know, capsaicin plays the full role in kimchi fermentation. So cabbage was soaked with salt, so just like the hypertonic solution like this. So to reduce the volume of plants and hold harmful microbial growth. So during fermentation, this kind of microorganism cannot grow. And capsaicin also very important. There are many papers. Capsaicin kills the other microbial membrane of harmful bacteria, but not LAB. And also stimulate the activation of fermentation, high activation of LAB, and makes the food delicious. This is very important, and producing the LAB and phytochemical, just like metabolite. So I'd like to talk about the capsaicin in kimchi. So many people know the capsaicin is from the Korean chili. Korean chili is quite different from the Mexican chili or Indian chili. So the Korean chili is very important as the core plants in kimchi. So color is key element to stimulate the taste in every yam phytochemicals is to make the food be delicious. More phytochemicals in gochu, chili, is the vitamin C and capsaicin, with the capsaicin in 2021 Nobel Prize Award with the capsaicin. And also 1937 Nobel Prize Award by St. George St. George with vitamin C, and they have the seed oil, and the Scoville unit is very important. Korean chili is only about 600, where Mexican and Indian chili is about some chili is 8,000, 800,000. So I can say kimchi could not have been found without Korean chili. If we make kimchi with spice chilies like Mexican or Indian chili, nobody wants to eat kimchi. If they eat kimchi with that spice chili, maybe there are many Chinese hate literature. If they have that kind of chili, they can die. And historical, I mean the chili in the world, first in the world is by genomic analysis. The Solanair, the family of chili is born in 1906 billion years ago, and Korean chili was born in 0.47 billion years ago. So quite different one. So in that time, the capsicum is born in 694 million years, and then transplantation and spreading to the intercontinental by bird, because the bird doesn't have the PRP-V1 receptor, so they can eat and fly to the continent and start to spread. So evolution, there are 100 kinds of chili among the Asia and Latin America, and in Chinese texture they show different kinds of chili and diverse. So this kind of choncho, jincho, chokcho, dangcho is the name of the country, and hocho is mancho, and then. So after chili was transplantation to the continent, and evolution take place to fit the geographical conditions. So it is why chili is very diverse version of the chili. And as you know, the homemade kimchi, capsaicin is 4 phytochemical gochu. Maybe 2021, the capsaicin has the Nobel Prize winners by this person. So it's the mechanism of this kind of mechanism. But in making the kimchi, also key phytochemical in chili paper and key ingredient for taste of food and food. So chili is the first plant to win the 2 Nobel Prize. One is the vitamin C, and second is the capsaicin. And I will talk about the health needs of kimchi. So in terms of prebiotic and probiotic and postbiotic, as you know, you know very well, LAD is very important bacteria for probiotics, just like the anti-inflammation, inhibition of angiogenesis or this kind of work. And nowadays, postbiotics is also very important in the kimchi. So before knowing the postbiotics, there are many discussions on how to make the kimchi, which is better for human, fresh kimchi or cooked kimchi, just like the fresh natto or cooked natto. So nowadays it doesn't not important. Even in the cooked kimchi or cooked natto, they can work the postbiotics works. So I can just briefly introduce the kimchi fermentation as a prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. The prebiotic works as the cure, and probiotic works as the factory, as a cell, and postbiotic is just like the food and the dessert. So prebiotics, capsaicin, garlic acid, acid, and this kind of phytochemicals, and the the microorganisms, the LAB as a probiotics, just like this kind of microorganism, and the good is the lactic acid and DNA ligase and LAB or metabolized. So this kind of result is the happiness by the good taste and the healthiness by the good conditions. So we can say the ancient people doesn't know the healthiness, but they know the happiness. And there are some papers. This kimchi extract accelerates the phagocytic activity in the peritoneal phagocyte cells by BLD mice like this. And the ripening kimchi is more good. And kimchi methanol extract also increases the NK nature killer cells activity of mouse brain lymphocytes. And capsaicin also works in the human microbiome. How to improve your microbiome? The answer is capsaicin. Capsaicin increases the LAB in gut microbiome. There are many reports this kind of results. So capsaicin uptake increases the lactic acid flora and decreases the harmful bacteria in gut with the mechanism of regulation of gut flora pain control like this one. So, as you know, how to improve our health with capsaicin? First things, improve your microbiome with capsaicin by increasing the LAB in gut microbiome. And second, improve your health with bioactive metabolite by activation human bodies. So, if you know that this mechanism of kimchi, there are many reports you can read and you can maybe you can find. And this.
I'm sorry, you should finish this.
Okay. Yeah. This is the last step. Okay.
Sorry.
So you can understand if you read this kind of papers, which was published in the Cell 2021. And we can discuss the kimchi, why it is very well, and the capsaicin. So also I would like to show the CFK restore the ratio of bactericide fermentation in fecal samples of HAP-induced obesity mice, and I also showed the CFK normalized by reducing the accumulation of hepatic lipid vacuoles over HFT-induced obesity. And so also the important things, capsaicin improved the metabolic health, cell and animal, microbial and human studies says capsaicin shows the anti-cancer, anti-obesity, anti-allergy, and gastro and CVD prevention in this drug. And another is the anti-obesity effect, and summary is like this. So, thank you. 감사합니다.